Hello everyone and welcome to OurVentura TV. I'm Sandra Siepak. On today's show we're welcoming Mr. Robin Singh. He is on the leadership board for the American Lung Association here in Los Angeles and Ventura County. Thank you for joining us, Robin. Great to have you.
Thank you, Sandra. Very excited to be here.
Good. I'd like to talk a little bit about the American Lung Association. It's been serving people, of course, for over 110 years now. And I'd like to give a little bit background from you on what it's all about.
Yeah, so the American Lung Association dates back to 1904, a time when tuberculosis was the world's most feared disease. And having a nationwide organization to combat a single disease was a pretty revolutionary concept. So it took a group of concerned citizens and a group of doctors to form a organization that went on to evolve into what we are today, the American Lung Association.
Great. I'd like to talk about the mission of the American Lung Association and what it exactly does for so many people here.
Right, so we're dedicated to improving the lung health of individuals, those fighting lung cancer.
Yes.
We're, exploring advocacy, research, and treatment for those affected. Some of our big milestones have been the Tobacco Control Act, finding the lung cancer causing oncogene, strengthening the Clean Air Act, and again, just getting the word out and spreading awareness to improve lung health.
And it's important that we talk a little bit about lung health and the air quality, because as you are well aware, we've had many wildfires here in the area within the past year, and in Ventura County especially. I understand the state of air reports here in Ventura County gave us an F for air quality. That's pretty bad.
Oh, it is.
So how do people respond accordingly and take care of themselves with such bad air quality that we are now getting due to a lot of wildfires?
Well, I do first want to mention that even though Ventura County did get an F, many cities throughout LA County also got an F. The reality is we live in Southern California. We have a high population density. There's a lot of cars on the road. We also live in a dry, hot weather environment, so we're more susceptible to wildfires. So we at the American Lung Association are huge proponents on working towards knowing what the effects are and knowing what to do in times of natural disasters such as the devastating wildfires we saw last month.
Yeah, because I mean, health concerns are a big one for so many people, and the air quality, when it is bad, it makes people with ongoing conditions such as asthma or any other kind of lung infections or whatever, make it a lot more difficult for these people, especially seniors and young people too.
Right. Living with chronic lung disease is a challenge as it is. To be in an environment where smoky conditions persist make the challenge that much greater. So we at the American Lung Association, specifically such as times like this where you had the Ventura County supervisors just okay the cleanup process this past week, we're definitely in need of volunteers and donations, but at the same time we stress safety still being a major concern. So we understand that residents of Ventura County want to get out there and help the brave men and women, the firefighters, the police department, but we also want them to be mindful and heed some general recommendations, which are to stay away from hazardous areas. If you have kids, definitely be mindful of them. Their lungs are still developing. Don't exercise outside. If you're driving, roll up your windows. Keep the air conditioner on recirculate mode. Same goes for your house. Get those air ventilation systems checked.
Well, let's talk about some of the masks that people are wearing and thinking that's going to make a difference. Unfortunately, it's not.
Right. So the common thing that most people believe is if they have a mask that they're safe. But we at the American Lung Association stress that you don't want to just count solely on the mask, because while they deflect the large particles, the danger also comes from the small particles that can seep in and when we inhale them. So if you need to go outside, if that's a must, then go ahead and put them on. Make sure they have an N-95 or an N-100. But again, just don't rely solely on that, and heed the advice of local and state officials if you're going to be in these areas volunteering. Again, don't put yourself at risk and exacerbate this situation.
I do want to talk about some of the accomplishments and breakthroughs of the American Lung Association in the past years. They're pretty incredible. And many of them have made such a difference in so many lives. Right. So let's talk a little bit about those. Yeah. One is, of course, strengthening the Clean Air Act. That's a very important one.
Right. We have a lot of core programs. I'll start off one with Lung Force, which is the American Lung Association's big movement in unifying women.
Okay.
So over the last 41 years, we've seen a 87% increase in the new number of lung cancer cases, specifically among women. So Lung Force was a new initiative that we launched to raise awareness.
Okay.
November is actually Lung Cancer Awareness Month.
Okay.
And in May, we actually, the second week, have National Women's Lung Health Week.
Okay.
And we started this movement called Turquoise Takeover. So in LA County, it's been really cool to see City Hall, LAX, for that week. Everyone turns turquoise because that's the official color of women's lung health.
Okay.
So, that gets a conversation started. A stranger goes by a building, hey, why is that building turquoise? And then you just start that conversation. Bottom line is, we know that men and women can get lung cancer, but we want to equip everyone and empower them to understand and better cope with it.
And screenings are, of course, vital.
Absolutely.
Because anybody can get lung. It doesn't have to be just somebody who smokes.
Exactly.
Many people do get lung cancer that are non-smokers.
Right.
So, of course, being screened is going to be vital.
Yeah, and viewers can definitely visit our website, www.lung.org. You can take an online quiz. That's more geared towards those who have actually stopped smoking and are wondering, okay, what's the next step?
Okay.
You can take that online quiz. You can print out the document. It'll tell you which doctor you can take it to initiate that conversation.
Good.
Our online resources also allow individuals to seek out all the insurance options available to them.
Okay.
And again, they can get in touch with the facilities where they can go get screened, local to their area.
Yeah, and I think, one thing I do want to go back and talk about is just in the last few years, many women have been diagnosed more so than men.
Right.
The numbers are up for women, and this is very concerning to a lot of us.
This is very concerning as an organization, and that's a huge reason why we have Lung Force. And some of our big events around Lung Force, of course, as I mentioned, November being Lung Cancer Awareness Month.
Right.
In Orange County, we had a walk November 3rd in Irvine at Mason Regional Park.
Okay.
November 18th, we held one at the CBS Studio Center. So these are active ways we can get the community involved.
Yes.
It's very moving to see people commemorate a lost loved one who's been touched by lung cancer. And then there's a kind of a fitness component. So again, just getting the word out, and again, stressing that lung cancer can't just only be caused by smoking.
Right. Which I think many people may not be
Common,
aware of.
yeah. So
we
reducing
do need
the stigma.
Yeah, we need to let people know that. And I was very concerned reading some of the statistics, which is every 5 minutes a woman is told she's living with lung cancer.
Right.
That's very concerning.
Yeah, and what's even more troubling is it's not even considered a top of mind concern for women.
Right.
So we want to educate women, empower them, unite them through this movement.
Yes, I did read that it was the #1 cancer killer of women.
Yes.
That's very concerning. So I think women, of course, need to really pay attention to that. Right. It's very important, and scans, like we said, are vital. I know that many of the things that you do, certainly you mentioned the events and the things that you have ongoing, raise awareness and they raise funding. Let's talk about that a little bit too.
Yeah, so we're very committed to research because we believe that's the front line weapon in reducing the burden of lung disease. As of last year, we committed to $6.6 million in research through our Airways Clinical Research Centers.
Okay.
So this program that's associated with the American Lung Association is responsible and is actually the largest nonprofit clinical research centers that deals with asthma and COPD. And it's responsible for bringing treatments straight from the lab to the bedside. And this year, I'm proud to announce, as of October, it's coming straight from our CEO, Harold Wimmer.
Okay.
We're going to be investing $7.3 million this year in research And we're actively seeking new grants for the upcoming year, 2019 to 2020.
On the website, I have gone on your website, which is extremely informative. Why don't you give the website for many of our viewers so they can get a little bit more information there too?
Yeah, as I mentioned, if for those individuals that have stopped smoking, they can utilize the Save by Scan. You can learn a little bit more about our mission. It also highlights more ways that you can get involved. You can become an advocate, you can become a participant at our numerous events.
Right.
When it comes to Ventura County specifically,
Okay.
We're working closely with Ventura County Public Health.
Okay.
And it's this is the timing of this interview is great because in Ventura we hold Better Breathers Clubs and Freedom from Smoking programs. So these are smoking cessation programs. So what Better Breathers Club is for those with chronic lung disease.
Okay.
Coping is, again, a big challenge. So they meet the first Thursday of every month at Ventura County Medical Center in the small auditorium of the cafeteria from 4 to 5. The next one is actually tomorrow, where they'll be covering the topic of holistic health. And they'll also be having the holiday party because it's December. Okay. And then the Freedom from Smoking is for those that are looking to quit. So the next one will be held January 10th. And there are 9 sessions that will run until February 28th. And they're an hour and a half long sessions, and they'll be held at the same venue, but in the large auditorium.
And I would assume this is going to be an ongoing program then.
Absolutely. Better Breathers Clubs are also held in Simi Valley and Oxnard.
Okay.
We also do Freedom from Smoking programs in Ojai. But again, the purposes of the interviews, we're looking to build more partnerships with Ventura County public health officials to really, get out there.
What about the need for volunteers? Is there a big need for volunteers?
Oh, we're always looking for volunteers and corporate sponsors. Again, you can go to our website, you can become an advocate. We have this program called the Lung Action Network, where you can actually sign up and join our mailing list.
Okay.
And you'll see all the legislation that's coming at a state, local level that impacts air quality, tobacco control, and you'll have the opportunity to voice your concerns to your local or state elected and even federal officials when it comes to these serious issues impacting our communities.
Which makes a big difference.
Right.
It makes a big difference. Tell us about your role on the leadership committee for the American Lung Association.
Yeah, so our leadership board is comprised of medical professionals, business professionals like us. We also have journalists. It's quite a unique makeup.
Okay.
So definitely community leaders that have their own personal story about how we got involved. Mine dates back to my time at USC, and I got involved with the organization by just hearing about the fight for air climb, which I'll talk about in a little bit.
Okay.
My sole goal was, hey, I want to climb at that time, the second tallest skyscraper of downtown LA and see the amazing view.
Right.
But it slowly evolved into me learning more about what the American Lung Association is doing, the wonderful work. And you slowly realize that lung disease affects everyone in your sphere of influence, and it's not that far away. So reducing the burden and being just contributing your small part makes all the difference.
Well, the American Lung Association is doing some really great things, and I'm so happy to hear that you're a big part of it as well. So thank you so much for joining us on the show. If you could just share the website with us one more time.
Yeah, it's www.lung.org. You can also call our hotline. It's 1-800-LUNG-USA.
Good.
We're on Twitter at Lung Association. You can also follow us on Instagram, California Lung.
Great. Thank you so much, Mr. Robin Singh from
Pleasure.
the American Lung Association. Thank you for sharing so much with us
Thanks
today.
for having me, Sandra.
I agree. And thank all of you for joining us today on OurVentura TV. I'm Sandra Siepak. See you next time. Bye, everyone.